Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany and we are heading into Aries season with the new moon in Aries on the 26th of March 2017. So I wanted to share a few things about this new moon and have this still in line with my year of the manifestor, which is this year, 2017. So this video actually has two parts. I'm going to talk a little bit about the moon vibration and the energy of the new moon in Aries. And then I'm going to share my new moon in Aries tarot spread and show that spread in action. So we're going to look at the cards down. So I'm going to be changing cameras. So as with everything I share before we get started, take what vibes with you and simply leave the rest. So I really like the energy of Aries. I like the god of war, not because I like war, far from it, war is awful, but I like the fire that the god of war, Aries Mars, can light up under your ass to get things going. He may be rash, but he's also far removed from apathetic. So that's what's really great about when we embrace this warrior energy and this war-like energy. And it can be even like declaring your own personal sacred war, like as in don't get all like full on about it, on your apathy, or declaring like this fight on something that's personal to you. So along with this energy, we can enter in, when we enter into the new moon, we may be called to change a lot. Especially because the seasons have started to change as well. In the Northern Hemisphere, spring is here and we are clearing out our spaces and getting more energized. The days are getting longer and we really are more aligned to wanting to get things moving in our love life, our personal life, our businesses. In the Southern Hemisphere, the heat is starting to wane, which is a godsend for people who are in very hot countries. And nature is preparing to change into autumn. So this may also, enable people to do more if the days are getting cooler. And there's a different shift with looking at what is really necessary and what needs to be sort of put away and laid to rest. This for me in the new moon in Aries, even if when I was living in Australia or if, now I'm living in Canada, this is my get shit done moon and I'm very much embracing that with trying to get a manuscript finished for a publisher. So I am on the ride with you, my friends. Now the thing about the new moon in Aries is that it's also a bright firework that can light up the night, but then the energy can disappear just as quickly as it arrived. This can be ultra frustrating because our motivation may also dwindle along with it. When we don't see the returns on our investment, when we don't start seeing quick successes as quickly as we would like. And, I don't know a person that I haven't met that isn't impatient. We're getting some lovely soundtrack from the construction trucks going down our street. We can be also more aligned to making impulsive decisions. We are more likely to rush into a project under a new moon in Aries. We are definitely more likely to start an argument, or they can get very heated very quickly. So if you're a fiery person who knows that certain people or situations are triggers, it may be a good time to do some work on yourself in those areas, or avoid those situations if you aren't ready to deal with it. It may not be the right time to plunge headfirst into your shadow side either, depending on how you hold this fire energy in your chart and also in your life. Silence and sometimes alone time may actually be the healthiest thing that you can do. If you find that you have a lot of excess energy around this time, walking it off or working it off in a healthy way can help a lot. Heck, screaming obscenities into a pillow may also be the call of the day if you have to. Because if you don't deal with it in a healthy way, it's more likely that it's going to bubble up and explode and leave an aftermath that you're going to be cleaning up for months. Now, I said that with last month with the full moon in Virgo, and then I just be forewarned, because what I said last month about the energies was like so right on for so many people. So to balance this energy out, the tarot spread that I created for the new moon in Aries will help with channeling that fiery, passionate, purpose-filled, let's change some shit energy and get it working for you. So now I'm going to swap over cameras and let's have a look at my new moon in Aries tarot spread that can actually be used with any new moon in Aries. You can also use oracle cards for this if you want to, but tarot is always my weapon of choice. This tarot spread focuses on channeling all of that amazing God of War, fiery, action-filled, creatrix energy that wants to instigate change into something that won't just peter out after 5 minutes. If you're feeling the urge to make a change, then you can use this as the best way to look at things from different angles and create something sustainable. So in other words, it will help you make your decisions more carefully, and it also is going to balance out some of that fire energy with a little bit more practical earth energy. Alrighty, so let's switch over the cameras. Okay, so now we are going to actually look at the new moon in Aries tarot spread in action. The first card that you're going to draw is going to be an intention focus card, or a significator, as it's also called. So you're going to look at the change that you want to initiate in your life, and you're going to go through the tarot face up, and you're going to find the card that represents either the energy or the visual that you want. Now I've selected for this reading, I'm just doing a sample, so I've selected the Three of Wands because I'm going to look at, expanding business and choices around expanding my business. Okay, so I'm going to pop that there. So I'm also, because I'm sure people are going to ask, I'm also using the Bonefire Tarot, the Schiffer Publishing version. So now that you have your focus card, you can shuffle your deck any which way you like. Give it a good shuffle. Okay, I've shuffled it a little bit before, and then when you're ready, you can cut the deck in any way you also choose to do so, because we all have personal ways of doing this. Now the second position is the project or the projection, and you are looking at what the most likely outcome or the most likely future is for this. And I have the Two of Wands. So while this is a backwards card in regards to, we've gone from a 3 to a 2 numerologically, this is actually a really positive card, I would say, for this reading, because the Two of Wands is a partnership card. So maybe it's time for this person whose reading I'm doing to look at how they can expand their business through a creative partnership. And maybe it's time to expand in a way where this person isn't doing everything on their own. So the second position is the most likely outcome and the most likely future, and that's very positive. The third one is protect what needs protecting, and I really like this card for this position. We have the Page of Swords, and this card actually came up in a reading for a client recently around work, and they were talking about their workplace, and I said, well, you probably should be very careful around who you tell your ideas to, because just because you're this big-hearted, beautiful person doesn't mean that someone else in your team isn't going to grab your shit and go with it. And because this is in the protect position, what needs protecting, this idealist Page of Swords, this communicator of ideas and inspiration, I would say to keep that quite close to their chest. So we have project, the future, what needs protecting. The fourth position is reject, what needs to be rejected or what you can get rid of. And we have a positive card in this position, a 10 of coins. So maybe this is saying there are a few things that you could say with this card. First of all, it could be a family thing. So maybe, you know, working outside the family and not looking to immediate family in this partnership. It's time to kind of move outside that. It could be for that person. It could also be don't invest a ton of money. So using your resources wisely. When people think of leveling up their business, sometimes they can kind of go into, awesome, let's just spend all the monies. And you may not necessarily have to do that. So there's a couple of things there. So that's a positive card like this one is, or which would a positive card, little rabbit is. You know, have a look at the different layers of the tarot card itself and how it can relate to your reading, and always go like I'm an intuitive reader as well as a reader who knows the meaning of the cards, so I always go with my intuition on that as well. The fifth position is neglect. So this is don't forget this. This is really important. Okay, and we have the Fool. So don't forget to take the leap. You know, maybe this is an important time to move and to embrace the energies that are around to get positive change happening. So don't forget to have faith, because this is also the leap of faith card, and then you can also always do things and start again. And if things are going in one direction and you're not super happy with it, you can always change direction. So I love that that's the don't neglect the Fool. Don't neglect the love for what you're doing. Like, they have this beautiful childlike folly and innocence. It's like, don't forget that wonder and awe in your business. So the sixth position is suspect, and I swear to you guys saw me shuffle, so it's not my fault. This is actually making a ton of sense. Be careful and proceed with caution around the Queen of Coins. So she is, depending on how you read your court cards, for me, she is very much well, be careful with someone who I would say comes with, like, it's super easy, like everything comes on this platter and it's like, it's all there for the taking, but what's kind of hiding in the pie, you know. Be careful with, all that glitters is not gold, and it may not be what it seems, so do a little bit of research. Have your things in writing, you know, make sure everything is clear, the boundaries are set too. And she's also, for me, a very healing archetype, so I also be cautious around, again, I'm getting this very much aligned with that Page of Swords here. It's like someone may say that they're one thing, but you never bloody know until money gets involved, as they say. And the final position, magnet, attract this. Oh, yesy please. Attract the Knight of Wands. Attract the sense of expansion and adventure. Attract moving forward. Here's my adventurer, my adventure card. You know, attracting as much of this as possible, and this a lovely, amazing experience. And this is action. So not only have we got this beautiful new moon in Aries, which is a fire sign, and we've got this God of War, warrior energy wanting us to come in and just go for it. This is a reminder in being a knight, which are all about actions and doing things in the tarot, to take action every day and to treat this as an adventure and to go forward. So the card layout, I'm going to try not to shake this camera too much. The card layout will look like this. Okay. And please share your readings if you like. And I hope you all have an amazing, look at all these wands. Obviously, like, just quickly, I also tend to look at the overall energy of my readings. So we've got 3 court cards. So there could be a number of people that, you know, I could work with in this. So there's possibilities there. Lots of fire and some earthy stuff there. So it seems like it's pretty well balanced, except there's no cups. So you need to look at that emotional connection and attachment. So that's my new moon in Aries tarot reading, and I hope you all have a beautiful new moon.